Hi again, I'm back. So, this is a rather unusual video, but considering backstory and how much YouTube loves drama, this video is all about a tragedy we call Fish City. Also, if you're wondering what's with the avatar, it's just, I'm now recording in OBS because I don't want to do animation manually. It's a lot better, don't get me wrong, but it's really annoying, so that's all I wanted to say. Now, to the naked eye, it's just a city, based on fish. However, to my eyes, it's something that hides under the surface. Beyond your glass screens, behind your black mirrors, is a reflection of Smiesik's reality. It is that reality. Oh, who's Smiesik? I'll get to that really shortly. If you want to know who he is in the quickest way possible, imagine an impressionable person. Okay, well, basically he's one of those Discord racist hooligans. The thing was, his personality was always trying to be of higher authority, treating those he finds a fool his jester. I was his jester. Ironically, he had a Renaissance era-like military group, muskets and shit. He was also an asshole, so if that wasn't obvious already. I don't know, man. Anyways, in summary, racist jackass with an ego. This is really common amongst these folks too, that's the funniest thing. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about the racist jackass part, but whatever. And in fact, I want to point out the fact... what am I talking about? Hold on. This face cam thing, whatever. It's not doing me well, but whatever. In fact, constant harassment is still around, getting occasional comments from him and his possible colleagues. While it's attention-seeking, it's pretty obvious his friends are also more attentive to... God damn it. Okay, live recordings are a bitch to work with sometimes. I feel like I'm gonna get a messy video just by making this entirely. I'm getting 12 point. Molotov, one of his friends, is now his concurrent jester, but he just can't get enough of old Maxi, I'll tell you that. Okay, I think this is gonna go for too long, but basically, Smiesik is a hack who thinks racism is his best known trait, and whenever he gets from someone that's personal to them, he'll use as a way of making them feel weak under his presence. Sheesh. That's so annoying, man. I can't with this, bro. Now, as for Fish City, the place itself was at one point in the process of being featured, but ended up being denied. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what's the reasoning for that, but I'm not complaining. That probably was deserved. Anyways, the place is more so New York stylized, and while it is cool and large and expansive, it's still held up by a bad actor, remember? Okay, now enough of the intro, let's just get into the exploration phase. Yeah, apologies if I sound a little bit awkward. It's just I'm making this as a rushed video, as it's a mix of like everything terrible. And honestly, I'm not a good recorder. I don't have much for voice acting whatsoever. But all right. So since I'm the one with the brains and I'm basically the one that's making the video, I'll just record myself playing and showcasing secrets and any significance by any means. So see you till then. All right. So. This game is a little bit unoptimized because it's a lot of blocks in there, but I'll just go through like most of the buildings and probably make some cuts as I go, I guess. Yeah, this game is very reminiscent, so there's not much really to talk about the general buildings. Like, this isn't worth too much reference, but I will mention this one secret, however. It actually says, like, this game was called Temp Difficilius or whatever, but due to some more older times now, it's a bit less common compared to everything else. There's also some other things that kind of exist. Hold on, what was this added? This game isn't getting any updates at all. I hardly even know what's added now. There's also SpongeBob here, I guess. The crane. This crane was a nightmare for Smiesik to make, so that's even funnier for me, because I made it worse on purpose, because there was this one bug where I used a gear to make it bouncy and all that. It was so annoying for him to fix, because you couldn't, like, fix debris it. Okay, now, this one's a little controversial for an obvious reason. It's a little hard to hear me over, so hold on, I'm just gonna quit music. Here we have the token stand. It's very bare bones. The gas store, yes. In all honesty, there's not much with these buildings, except that one right there. And that one if you really count it, but the halal store is just where the racism sort of kicks in. Because these guys are not in any way from the Middle East. So, yeah, there's a lot of random jokes on here, like that. There's also some other things like that. Oh, and there's a little bit of history I want to point out. This is called the Big Blockate City War, and this one is a little bit more of a weird one because I don't know why it says haggis here, but this one was basically we invaded this game called Big Blockate City, as far as I remember correctly. And yes, me and Smiesik and some other friends, I guess. We invaded it and took it over as a puppet, and eventually it left, it got independent after a while. And this is the office area. Look, I'm very bare bones on commentary when it comes to this game, and I'm just explaining what I know of these areas, but they're very bare bones, trust me. I think I've said that like 5 times now. This, however, the marketing room is, it's very interesting. There's some other weird things that kind of exist here, nothing too out of the ordinary. We go up here, and there's this office area. This is Janko, sir, one of his friends, mostly the second in command, and very basic, to be honest. And the irony just... the jokes write themselves.
Walter.
But, yeah, what can you even say anymore? It's just... these guys have been all over me when it came to me being friends with them, because, well, let's be honest, they're a bit addicted. Oh, and also this. That was a feature. Unfortunately, however, this office isn't all that too interesting, so let's continue into the next thing. The jokes write themselves, I'm telling you. This might be a bit of a more random video, because I'll be honest, it's not all that, it's a lot more different compared to other videos I would make. Like, I would be reading Dark Diaries again, but that is literally such a held-back project. I don't know why I should be doing that, but I mean, it's gonna come out eventually. There's this. Oh, and here's a little infamy. Smiesik would just scam people out of their blocks to just straight up ban them from the game most of the time, or just straight up hub them, and never give them anything. I made this. And also, as for that story, it kind of happened. It happened a lot, and oftentimes just was a dick move from him. I mean, obviously it was a dick move. Breaking boxes. Yeah, that one was very refined. Honestly, there's not much to say the least when it comes to, you know, the game entirely, but there's still some pretty weird Easter eggs, like the Pack-a-Punch from goddamn Call of Duty, COD Zombies, and a teddy bear. Not sure why. An explosive barrel. Ren. I don't remember who Ren was, but he seems to be an old guy, as far as I remember correctly. He wasn't too bad, I think. In fact, I don't think anybody here was that bad, except for the people we are mentioning. Like, this guy, and this guy. But for Parasite, that was a completely different thing. Music is... does that say music or Nisa? I don't even know, man. Smiesik Corp. Yeah, that's definitely something. Jewel for Tools. This was very much something. Very bare bones. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna be saying bare bones all the damn time when it comes to these games, I'm telling you. Here we have the Painful Pharmacy. I don't even know what to say about this one. This one doesn't have that much interest of it. Or too much interest. It doesn't have any interests. This Dr. White's, I don't know who the fuck Dr. White is, but he exists. We got Postal, Battlefield. And then... Right. Again, these guys are hacks, so they just take anything they find funny off of, like, either racism or fascism, whatever the hell. Or whatever this was, really. But, I mean, hey, they literally take any joke they find from their controversial behavior and decide to make it, like, their own shitiful cheap trick. Their own plentiful cheap trick, I mean. And to be honest, that is kind of just the case here. Alright, so... Alright, I can't respawn. Forgot to disable that. Which makes traversal really annoying, but I have an okay. I have an idea. Oh, and that area. I remember correctly, that area is pretty hard to get to, so I'm gonna try to get up there. Because it has a lot of important shit to mention. Oh, I almost got it first try. Can you not get in there? Oh, I got in. Okay, I got in. So... Wolfenstein 3D, yeah, that sounds really... As you can see, they clearly have a lot of, interesting imagery. Yeah. Lots of interesting imagery. Down here, this was inspired off of the thrift store from Criminality, so as I remember correctly. But, here... Brig. Methamphetamine. As you can see, this is a very intriguing. This is also where you can get the key card, as far as I can tell. But otherwise, this is a very dubious place. I mean, what do you even want me to say? All this place, the entirety of this place is like a hidden tragedy on its own. Here's the, yeah, you can definitely see where the narcissism comes in at some points. And myself included. And I have access here, because, well, of course I do. Oh, the rocket jumper. That can help me move around a lot, actually. I'm gonna take that, because, oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, they also opened this up again. Before it was closed, and now it's open, but... Yeah. It's just a very basic art gallery. I forgot shift lock does that. Okay, let's get back to the... Oh yeah, here. This was something else of its own. It was a cafe called, Le Meru Café. Okay, whatever. It was very generic, if you ask me. This is the fish supermarket. Very generic. Someone's head. But creative TNT, you know, just the usual stuff. Go down here, and, yeah. It's very reminiscent or something, but... I mean, in all honesty, what do you want me to say? It's a really dull game when it comes to this, performance. Because the game itself is not that enticing. It's just a little roleplay game that you just wander around and stuff. The secrets only just show when you really explore. Okay, where's my, here we are. Oh yeah, wait, what's the upstairs like? Didn't check. Yeah, no, normal. Yeah, just completely normal. Alright, this time we won't fuck it up. Okay, why does that keep happening? Okay, so this is the undermap, and it's very large. Dizzy Link. Wait a minute, they have a Discord? I'm probably gonna censor that. You'll just go there yourself, because I'm not revealing this motherfucker's Discord. Do not join that motherfucker's Discord. Do not give him the attention he needs. Or actually, maybe you want to give him the attention, honestly. I'm already giving him enough. Burn bad fish. Don't know if you consider that a bad fish or not. But I digress. Here's also, Fish, a dead farmer. Seems like, that was a very reminiscent age. Wow, it's hard to get through. Jesus Christ, how... It can't be that hard to get through. Alright, hold on, let's try this again. Why do I even try anymore? Why do I even bother? Alright, so that's mostly for this side, the city side. There's not much, so let's go into the sewers, because that's where most of the important stuff comes in, like the, this. But also, up here. Obviously, there's a lot of weird lore to this. You can pause if you want to read these, but Trust me, they're not too important when it comes to this game's weird-ass lore. However, it is known that the game itself is very reminiscent. Also, wait. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here that I can see exists. This is a flashlight if I want to see better in some areas, but trust me, you will still see better in any area. This area, however, leads to a really good, useful tool to maneuvering around, which is just this weird orb. Makes it move faster, and there's also just this reference to Postal Redux when Corey Cruz was voice acting the radio guy in the ending. Again, just stating my facts here of references. Now, I'm not sure if that keycard was to access the library or not. But if that's the case, then that would be really needed right now, because I'm not too sure what counts as a stat giver and what doesn't. Because the laboratory is, like, really important to check out. Dang it! Nothing there, it's blocked off. I mean, I bet that got completely blocked off, as I can't go in there anymore. But that had, like, a coolant area and, like, some other weird reports, but I can't go in there because I just can't do my journalism now. Because I don't have, hold on. Wait, no. I don't have any of that access, so I'm basically just stuck here. Otherwise, the sewer is mostly just those lower surface areas, but that one is, like, strangely enough, not the most important. Well, in some determinations, but here, yeah, this one was just completely random. The bar, the pizza here. The church, however, is a very dubious one. I would like to mention more of the sewers, but there was like a part where you get stuck and could not like move anymore or something. You were just basically like, you were stuck in there and it was just playing this weird music. It was a bit ominous that I challenged myself to stay there for like 10 minutes without like any lights, but I didn't do the light part because that one was just too much of a cowardice to me, and honestly it still felt intimidating. Here we also have the church bell, and this is the end of the road so far. I mean, if you ask me, the whole place itself, I'm going off of literally anything of a reference.
If you don't play Duke Nukem 3D, you die.
What is this? This place isn't even finished at all, but there is something over there I haven't noticed. Can't tell what that is, though. There's someone hanging right over there. Why is that there, even? There's no, like, hung body or anything. There's just a radio here. Where's this area? What the heck? Is that how you access the laboratory? No, that couldn't be. It's a secret way, but I don't know. I don't have the access to it. Well, that sucks. Including there's no like possible stat givers to explore secrets, because well, half of this place is literally just its own secret. More dated stars. Rug store, 100% legal. Well, it's rugs. Questionable contents. Is that just weed? Is this cannabis in my game of Roblox? We're back here for a good reason, too. We haven't checked, like, the more further outskirts here, as that place still has some important stuff to mention, which some might be a bit interesting with how it's even allowed. So over here is my store named Maxima. That's a little reference to something, but... oh no, that's the wrong store. That's the Maxima right there. I don't know who the hell that is. Here, it just has like a random... it's just a random little thing. Honestly, it's nothing too special. It's just here. Then you got Sweaty Butt with Sexcellent Plugs. With, those are just dildos. There's no other way to say it. There's just... that's just dildos. What is this? Oh, I'm stuck down here, aren't I? Don't tell me I'm stuck here. No. Dude. This is gonna be an interesting montage of me getting out. I think I have to rejoin. God damn it, I'll rejoin in a second. So now we're back and we're able to do shit again. I'm gonna have to get this ability again because it's gonna be annoying to walk around without anything, so I'll just cut when we're done getting the ability. Maximator, you can cut this out now. Maximator, you can cut this out now. Okay, maybe this is a little bit too much to my own asking, but seriously, I'm just gonna fast forward this once I'm done. Yeah, I said nothing. Yeah, I said nothing, man. Alright, so over to this direction most of the time. There is also some other things like Fish King, which, yeah. A lot of these sometimes I made because of the logos, depending on how you really, well, work around it. But obviously some were made by, you know, a few other people. There's Sweaty Butt again. Some has a stand with a RGB butt plug. Here you have Fireworks, Pyromanics. There was one that was like talking about Chocolate Rain, and I'm not sure which one that is anymore, but I think they removed that one for some reason. Maybe it wasn't just their taste or anything, I'm not too sure. Bleeding Catfish Run. Is that? Oh. At least the atmosphere is like decent, but that's the worst part. Like, it's surprisingly good for a map. Why is there a spawn point here? Like, it can't be this good for something like diminishingly devious, because like the person who made this is a bad guy, so why is it good? I don't know, man. I don't know. You ever heard of like what example can I say that was like a thing made by like a bad person? Honestly, I'm not too sure anymore. Okay, this was very basic, so that was nothing. Okay, that's just tits. I'm not sure if I'm want to even show that even, but that does, I think that's fine. Look, YouTube, it's not real. It's just a mock-up. It's a little smiley face, a little Colin-free. Here is a little interesting area. It's a butchery area. I mean, it's a slaughterhouse. What do you expect me to say? I don't know. These areas get really weird. Not only that, the fact that I know these, like, still to this day is an insane stretch to take for this game, because for some reason, when you know them, you just do. And that's kind of concerning, because I still have, like, permissions to walk around. Like, I still have some stat IDs. Oh, great. I'm surprised this was even worked on. The house isn't even finished by a degree. And I noticed that the map was, like, getting expanded still, which means, like, someone decided to come back to this somehow. Turkey. Here's a random campsite with, Turkey. Car cinema, you know, back then when cars, like, you just drive into a random screen with a car and you just... Turkey. Oh! This was incomplete. But that also gives me something to look around of. So this is incomplete. I can just show you most of this. I wish I could go there right now, but I can't, because the laboratory is sort of blocked off, which is really bad, which sucks because I would really like to go there. However, there's no like permissions either. Like, there's no stat givers that kind of exist to do that. I can't like explore the lore, which Smiesik could have done that to help expand it, but also just get his secrets revealed sometimes. So he just sort of blocked it off. Probably just to prevent getting caught in doing something bad, or actually no, anything he find in these places are just terrible in the first place, so what am I even saying anymore? Of course it's gonna be a bad rep for him. And I guess as of recent, things really have not changed. So I use this indoors. Huh, somehow it's normal here, but if I use it outdoors, it's gonna get really hectic. Oh yeah, no, that's an insane turbulence. What if I don't use shift lock? If I use it on the ground, I just get launched, so I have to do it off the walls. Like that, in some case. Or if I just angle myself in the wrong fucking direction, and I lost, like, everything again. If only I still had my admin, but to be fair, I think he would already been getting rid of that if he was reminded of this game. Which, spoiler alert, he wasn't. But after this video may come out, I might get banned off of it, or he will just take attention and then get some good publicity off of it. Remember, any publicity to this motherfucker is good publicity, so that's an interesting reminder. I feel like I've explored everything, not too sure though. I feel like I have, but I could still be mistaken. How was the game apparently made? There's this. Frankly, there's not much to really talk about when it comes to the default buildings. They're just default buildings with no difference. Pure the truth. Though there's still the bad side of things, of course. So, this is a watermelon stand, which... yeah. Oh yeah, the Fish City, the Fish City subway. So, the scary movie here. Beer is good. Totally, man, totally. Okay, we're just not gonna talk about BBC here. That's just a network news broadcasting, or just, you know, the other kind. The bar, you can't go wrong with it, I guess. And I'm calm again. Well, I mean, hey, I think we've explored enough of this place. If I haven't, then I'll probably make a mock-up, if anything. Alright, so I think I just crushed another bug after that. Anyways, to finalize this video, I'm going to point out some notable details. A lack thereof, or a lack there may be, I'm not too sure to be honest. One prior thing I've known when I was working with Fish City was that the lab was never locked up, which was obvious at the first, which, okay, that's a little weird now that it's locked up, but that also means restricted areas can be pretty much a real kick in the dick for me, because do you know how hard it is to find evidence when it comes to the fact that he's now just starting to make shit hard to access? Because I had a lot of permissions there, and since I clearly worked on the game, I know what's inside there, but the problem is, it's the hard fact that I'm trying to describe what was inside there, and you just can't see what's inside there. If that makes any sense. Okay, maybe that wasn't, but... For one thing, I know how the planning worked out, and I know the ins and outs of this place, you know, the ins and outs. And of course, there isn't much to say when Fish City on its own isn't the only incriminating thing of Smiesik. And I know I don't sound all that serious right now, but remember, this is a rushed video, and I honestly just don't think it's gonna be that popular, so I'm making a quick video because screw it, I don't know, I don't like Smiesik, I don't like you, fuck you. And anyways, one thing I will point out though is that okay, hold on. It has the vibes of New York City, and, well, Postal in the mix, since the dude was addicted to Postal. And I mean Smiesik. And additionally, I will have to say that... Okay, additionally, I also want to point out something off topic. I'm a small writer. I don't do it often, but I have the capabilities to make a novel as I speak. I'm not the best, but I can definitely do something. The reason I'm saying this is because I made a sort of pseudo-expose document in the form of a novel. The novel itself contains the bare minimum of an exposure document. It, however, apparently was commented as enjoyable to read, which in my eyes was actually kind of funny. There isn't much to point out in that other... There wasn't much to point out in that There isn't much to point out in the other... In whatever I already covered, as there was just a quick recap of what I remember correctly, because that document was purely just a recap, nothing more, nothing less, and it was mostly an exposure document in some degree. But Smiesik probably didn't remember anything, right? Because it's been a while, right? Well, I mean, I don't know, he probably denied it, for all I care. As the thing is, I know he's a manipulative jackass, considering that he probably just wants to deny that factor and just wants to, like, consider me the bad guy. I mean, I've already been recording for 3 minutes and I'm basically just all set on a limb. But anyways, I'm not sure if that's just denial or genuine reaction, but that doesn't seem right from someone who's, you know, a bad person. Well, I don't know, man. I'm making just the most awkward sounding presentation I've ever heard. To myself and whatever you could include. But hey, self-shame is what makes me feel better. I don't know what else to say that would make it so Smiesik is just a bad guy in general. Like, I think I've said enough. I don't even know what would make you feel like Smiesik would be a bad guy, but I don't know. You watch this video for a reason, right? I only just wanted to bring attention because he failed to keep his promise at staying away from me. Because apparently he just cannot keep something simple as shutting up. I don't know what the hell is hard about shutting up. Like, you just don't need to do anything for it. Whatever. I'll be seeing you in the next video, probably. Goodbye! How long is that gonna take it to make? I don't know. I'll figure it out.